Maneva na say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
Breaking news on PENDREAM TV. Outspoken journalist Mugabe Mensah has taken a bold step, filing a petition to remove Electoral Commission Chairperson Mensah and her deputy Bossman Asari. This shocking move is already shaking Ghana's political space. And we have got all the data right here. Stay tuned as we break it down for you.
Live on TVSYZ and also on Power 97.9 FM and Wednesday, the 17th of September 2025. Na ye call a yes season regions in Nema, baby abe Fabiano, a TVSYZ and a Power 97.9 FM. Northern Regional Capital Tamale, a Kesmi 107.1 FM. Bole, a Savannah region, a Inkilige FM. Wa a WFM. Union Boko Fire Life. Our source 100.1 FM. Zaps FM was Zebila and a Pusiga Aya Wingpang Sampa Wende FM. Bruno Region Tiny Tipona FM was Sokon and Suma FM so Ewo Nkra Nkwanta. Yefoni Boshi near the NHA of original capital Goswa Ayananum 92.5 FM station with ambition Aduno FM so Ewo Sankori. Central Regional Capital Cape Coast Adom Sound Sao Kotokraba Market Sanso Ena Asen Fusu Rich FM so Ekremo Ewo Takrade West Yenyanuma is a mile and Fire West End 100.3 FM no na Sharp FM so almost Kremo Ewo Takrade. Volta Regional Capital Hoye Global 105.1 FM. Uti Region Stations Mensah Nyewa 79.7 FM Oketekra Chiki FM Opasa and a Boom FM so Jasikan Dollar Man Governor of the Father of West Africa Nikrum Jasikan almost Kremo Ewo Boom FM. Yako London GFM Radio ni Fire Life Radio American Memo 68 FM Ekremo Ewo Virginia. Internet so any more share ewo Facebook Live Power 979 TVSYZ Ghana Samsung on YouTube SYZ Broadcasting. Mugabe Mensah enemy din wetimi aframe atankolega biga the capacity man na ensema eneyi yede ebre wono ene His Excellency John Dramani Mahama eye motumi launch eye Democracy Dialogue 2025 here also Accra International Conference Center Jumedi Nasino His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Ekasaye and Chief of Staff Unmunyam for Julius Tebra Dache Hene ono so Ekasaye ene yeko Asante Mantemwa ene eye de tosu miensa Asante hima wanye ni be krono omo ekrema omo so eye yino ekoso dendenden ya nyame eye aduma ochina His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne abemu mpenifo ebetumi akopie mu ewo Asante Mantemu kuru diakese Kumase eye Mensah Palace no mo so akopie omo last respect to Asante hima na yako NDC aso a Director of Legal Affairs for Edoji Tamaklo lawyer ni na uyubia wasan Chief Executive Officer the Man National Petroleum Authority NPA ensemben enwodi atudwa wenyina yensema wodwa yede ebrewo na meka wose Nyankopon adoma miakasa nkasa metintim nkrata ya chese Mensah woni ni two deputies no say Bossman o say tete o omunyina omumiensa na so mudi omadwuma to no moko atake 146 of the 1992 constitution no de eyetoko no koye no eno na Mugabe Mensah misumigina so Nyankopon ya adoma next week ya ekwe misumitintim nkrata akodum penifo so ye no mahwe said de be ya Mensah ene no kofo nipa mienu Bossman Asari ene eyetete yi omo betimi de omadwuma to no mayede no mako ni ape omo ye competent omo betimi adwuma ni ye ya chese kata se proye bibia enu mo adwuma bedam fan mo be independence said de be ya wontwanko enu wontwanko bi ntinyame ya adoma me ma breaking news say next week me akasa me de me petition ebekwa kopiem ewo mpanifo anim na proceedings na yedan ahyase akoso ewo asoye won sembibire wonyina aka ho ene awie yesi nkonyan ene honorable Timothy Ataboade awuntirim say we deputy CEO acting deputy CEO ewo forestry commission mo beteneka Owaha, where a former MP for Busanov, Sandema in the Upper East region of the Republic of Ghana. Mobeteneka and Bernard and MPC so Kasama for Edema a year bust. Was I a national communication team member the ma and the Samonyokono. Penifom Yenui and a Minumu Ebedi and Komo Ewo Fidiamuha. Yamia Duma Tina Yayra Koku. Wanoko NA so a national identification authority. One opinion our down, which I'm Mobeteneka. Sanso Yama Mizita. A Benson, Her Excellency, since we call a Britain memo, no acquire Ghana High Commissioner to the UK. Now, Akotana, a year 13 Belgrave Square, Victoria, London. Now, a China Yamiadma, on also, Mobetinenka, Elha. Only obey goodbye to us. No, I call UK, no, I call representative my Ghana, no, boy, Juma Papa. Ade ama aye Prince Charles Krum for a UK for any yeso yewo Ghana this year ho obotumi aboy jumapa ade amayen ensem we bibre ka ho ene aboabo no enne ukuada wia kete da musumi da tosunsun wa September mu ya yede ebrewo ne jumako bi adabroma ene tachi ade jumedi ebrewo leaf cake capsules omo free a Moses Clinic and Eba Center omo ekure mu papa sanso na power specialist Eba Hospital mami aduya ono so ka ho Moses clinic omo so asoye o say Matthew omo prostate health awareness month September to brana won tohwe no bi miemia brana ye say bibia de dana kwema babia bedem anasa saa ena etiem yefa aseda kesema Safari Valley Eco Resort omo wadawu in the eastern region na kwoi na also Kojojo ho Divine Hope Herbal Center omo de wo twia herbal powder de abadwa so power specialist Eba Hospital mami aduya Victory Garlic Mensah na Hebron Hills International School yimekodudu adawro manetechira yedi jumedi ede ebrewo ewo TVS was na power 97.9 FM yeda ho simeti wo na fe yaba ebejebre na fe nsem no ye bibie mu makomako ede aman ye na hwefo ene yen etifo yeba sesia. About TVS was at power 97.9 FM, the hottest and the biggest conversation in Ghana inside politics. Yedi Ifri City or 37 Abebe Street, the heart of Accra, Usu, Eritrea, in all the 16 regions across the country, north, south, east, and west. The 900 million angels, NJ Gabriel as usual, will lead you woman. Yedi Semno Eshasia, near Sasha, the free NDC Amoyoku Ase. Papa, no, and a year NP on boss, lawyer Edujita Makru. No assign a legal affairs boss Edema Endi Samanyuko no or the Ensembia to Efa Ghana Bar Association say Womo El Sama Womo Ekikan and saying Osha at the said ye Amanyo Semino Dania no Muswa Dani Womo now when I say some Article 146 Article 146 of 1992 Constitution proceedings any nyama ekwoso ewo eyema mi tokunu nsem ekwa yete said yema mi friend say ifua gati ni nsema oyi ano fa 20 January we ya no che say ade sisi no wo mo ye partisan na wo ma hwe ya sade no nya de betumi abo akura na nsem nyina no amafo adwuma dwenkyira akasa na yetie ma me ifua gati ono so ni nsema no Ghana Bar Association if I got a can actually say Joe Gatti ya no railways minister ewo and Akufo-Addo's administration no niyire on the dam pasu baako ya efense fu agati wono anase ye ko Ghana Bar Association wa wada wo mu ano na wa hwe papa yi na hwe ne yira wo yeso obeye ndisi ne obeye MPP ni enyame na meka kire wo akọ na akọ jaji ye tie ma mi nsema wode atudwa.
The Constitution of the Ghana Bar Association enjoins us to protect the independence of the judiciary. This is a duty the association does not take lightly, and from time immemorial, the bar has fiercely performed this duty. My learned friends, we are all aware that Article 146 of our 1992 Constitution has come under severe scrutiny in recent times. For the first time under the Fourth Republic, is being evoked in respect of a Chief Justice. The position of the bar must be stated clearly in this regard. The bar recognizes the fact that the power of removal can be exercised under Article 146, but the bar's major concern relates to the process. In the absence of specific rules of procedure, the sketchy process potentially lends itself to arbitrariness and a lack of fairness. Hence, the bar's resolution on the matter, which was as follows. The Ghana Bar Association hereby also calls for the immediate enactment of clear and comprehensive regulations relating to matters under Article 146 of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana to ensure transparency, accountability, and fairness in all proceedings involving Superior Court justice, particularly in the context of the impeachment or removal of such officers. This resolution was passed and publicized by 30th April 2025. However, no rules were produced. It is commonly said that justice should not only be done, but manifestly be seen to have been done. The lack of an enactment for such rules in the case of the removal of the fourth highest person in the nation should be a matter of concern for all of us. These rules should have been known to all and sundry before the commencement of the process, as it greatly affects the standard to be met. It ends up being an unfortunate precedent which lacks fairness, a situation that calls for redress if indeed we are custodians of justice. We all deserve justice, from the well-endowed in society to the less endowed, from those who wield political power to those who don't, from those who have economic power and those who don't, from those who dispense justice to those who receive justice.
Very well. Not just say, Mamia, Eja Nikunu, Ene Eye Jogati, Ya, your friend say, Eye Ifuagati, or no, and Eye Ghana Bar Association for, or more Penya, or Dawomo, ano, Ba Penya, or Dawomo, ano. Nisimu wa wadi atudwa enono na ensembe na edujita makro ekokaye edujita makro kase the current advocacy ya chese wo hwe some argument awodua Ghana Bar Association wo mu editudwa na mo keka efa justice chief justice yi na die Gertrude tokono no enya ade ese impeachment process no Ghana Bar Association wo stands on that issue no na enya ade eso eni omo ye partisan na sane ma no enya ade ese eboa yen amanyo sem no ekoya Charlotte se fa so ko ye no se obi samra na eyi obi na afi ni ebeda ho be ho te se de eni ni mumra na amfamra kwan so de a na chese eno de omunim de okanti breaking news a na wie me de ema wa se Mugabe Masi Mugabe Masi ya me ye Ghana ni ba matabri minkrata nyina me ne me lawyer se kuku dan fo atenase ya chese enema bia me hia all the evidence ya me hia ye betumi amaje Mensah Bossman editete akofie omodo free office so ni ape omo di sefata say omo mefasa akonya no no mututu niema yie ewo letter commission ho no ekrata ni nyina aye ready ya senyame eya adoma enche bia ekrata ni nyina no ye betabiri mi nyina akodu bia wasa hedan eko na enkrata no so etumi akodu mpanifo ani mu ahwehwem se de bia se media Mugabe Masi odi mi ana odi asemu se me sori na me ka me ho se me ya ade a me ni evidence ya enya de se me ka me ho ana me wo so me ho na me so me betoto ni mayie ama Ghana fo nyina wo se the current a commission maami a wotu woni ni two deputies Bossman ene tete no they don't fit to be in that office ya wose emrani ni omudi 146 ni pepepe in the Ghana Bar Association mini baby amudi mutibe kwa akobo sanse 146 no eba aba abesa ya adwuma biem sedi no wanani ye no sa pepepe ana Yesu maye no so beye den ebeye ma wo sa amafo ayesulu ba ye mo ye di slow fo mu fichine no atankolega biga de Mugabe masi the capacity man no want me enfa me fichine ti bibia ye ready nya sa fe ye beka say aka page 1 bi ye evidence bi na wo tin semo woma hu bedwuru semo womu no adam ya press conference akasa mekwa submit me documents no and bo say yes atankolega biga Mugabe masi me da me na mo madano na chese mi kumi nkrata so a mi hwehwe mu mi kokra me evidence I would do a mi kokra mu ye jesu pefe into betimi a aka watch my lips some aye kradwa me de min krata ekwa kopie mu mpenifa so ye na impeach eye sa se prima facie no mutumi establish ya ye maame bekwa kopie mu council of state for so ye no mo ahwehwem Mensah Bossman en eye tete mu nyina no said no one any no sa pepepe and Yesu maye no so be den ebeye you know say I'm not the type where obetimi compromise be and ho I'm not the type where obi betimi influence me with money house or whatever say me kase me ya dia we ye den meye and I miss me no start game bia was me no ye dey wi pepepe na me make sure say kunim die no eye the angels no me angels no mon disappointed ti before say me ye bibi me to na mo bia me we na angels na ka say go na my head my call for the direction it is say dear edaho ene ewie eno no ene edai eyeda eye ukuada edu ukuada se a na che say makai Dr. Omanebo Amamutala Dr. Samosapon Alaji eye limuna miniru ni abuajeni asoja fo mienu aka ho a omokohwe omunkwan ya ewo eye Ashanti region na eni ye toaso ne de nsema wodo a aka no e de atoa osodi a na chese ye da so a ejinemu ewo eye omampanyi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na so ye na ho eneni Minister for Government Communications and MP for Abuasibu eye kwa mankasi Honorable Felix Kwachi Ofusu wode atu edwase saa eye enyamwone nkanua ne nsubu woni ade a amafo ese yemfa nkosoro se de be ya ebetumi amane ma yeden edi akoyie no wo kire se mbase hia se aban ne bete so edi ama eye woma eja hia se ete so na aban no ebeye woni enua eye Umaru Sanda e City FM menua no me friend cowboy se eja yina na ntwi na so ne yehwe no wo penentwi so hwe papa menua Umaru Sanda. Good afternoon my brother, I hope everything is fine. My regards to the family na enua eye Felix Kwachi Ofusu akasa afa enyama hoden kanea entutumo ne ho nsem no yetie sem ode atudwa.
For this, the ECG and the water company and the other utility service providers are saying that they are going to task us so much. They've sent the proposal to PUS. The government intervention.
I think we've been around for a long time, so we know that it is not every proposal that's accepted. It is not unusual.
But the thing is that if you don't accept the proposal, the utility service providers,
yeah, so that, no, what is that it is not always, in fact, it has never been the case that the utility service providers have received the exact amounts in the proposal that they present to PLC. Often they quote certain figures, but PLC looks at it and then strikes a certain balance, and then, but almost every time it is substantially reduced. What it is that as part of the IMF arrangements that the MPP entered into, and these documents are black, I can share it with you, they agreed with the IMF as a conditionality for accessing about $300 million when the review that took place before we came to power was completed. That's around December 2024. That they were going to do periodic tariff adjustments, quarterly tariff adjustments, and then in September they will do a major tariff adjustment. And this was agreed upon by the MPP. It is cast in stone, calcified, so it must also go on record. So when the MPP comes to lament electricity pricing, you know that they are being duplicitous and hypocritical. They are simply not telling the truth. They went to agree it. We are bound by it. But often when this is about to happen, the PLC engages stakeholders in consultation. So they invite the utility companies to present proposals on what they would like to be done. But they will go through it with a fine comb and ensure that customers are not worse off. So you may have seen some figures being bandied about, but I am confident that those figures.
That was Government Communications and MP, Government Communications Minister and MP for Abrasibu Kwamankese in the Central Region of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Felix Kwachi Ofoso. Also, can some about His Excellency John Dramani Mahama achievement so far 8 months in office. In
the lead up to the 2024 elections, the most topical issue, right at the top of the wish list of Ghanaians, was the economy. I mean, the economy was in total shambles. Hardships were pervasive. The cost of living was so high, and people simply struggled to make a living. And so President Mahama committed to addressing that. And you see that when we came into power, it was the first thing that we tackled. There was a need to stabilize the economy, stabilize the currency, stop the rapid depreciation that was undergoing at the time, and bring it to a level that led to significant reductions in the cost of living. And that has happened. Indeed, the price of everyday items reduced significantly. In fact, Guta met the Parliamentary Select Committee on the Economy and Development. And when they were questioned, they showed data which proved that up to 4,500 different items had seen price reductions. And these are the people who actually do the trading. So there is no dispute that prices came down. Of course, there has been talk about the need for more price reductions, which we agree with. We think that the pass-through effect should be quicker and it should be much larger than we saw. But there's no dispute that prices came down. At least 4 prices came down. They are not currently at the same level that we inherited it. Of course, in the last 2 or 3 windows, it's gone up a bit, but it is still below where we found it. Transport fares went down by about 15%, if I'm not mistaken. And basic goods and services also saw price reduction. So these are the things that I would say have mattered most, in addition to all the things that have happened. Through their efforts, they've been able to mop up such that between January and now, the last record, which is about a month ago, $6 billion had been accrued from gold exports. The same time last year, it was barely half of the figure that I'm quoting. So it means that about $3 billion or so left the shores of this country unaccounted for. That has meant that there's a lot more foreign exchange available to the central bank to be able to put on the market if need be, and also shore up our reserves. So that is what led to the stability in the currency.
Also, Honorable Felix Kwachi Ofoso live on TVSYZ and also on Power 97.9 FM. You don't know, so Akwa see now for you move on to other issues. And I dare say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to me Buaya Mamutumi Lanche the Democracy Dialogue 2025 for Accra International Conference Center. Yeah, was no social history of Africans democracy and the way forward. It is my course or
After a long period under military rule, we came to a consensus, and it was like the Arab Spring for Africa, where we decided that we had had enough of military dictatorship and that the people would be better served by democratic and constitutional governance. And so one by one, African countries began to pivot back to constitutional rule and democratic governance. But the thing is, democratic governance guarantees the rights and freedoms of the people, which is true, but in themselves will not bring opportunity and economic prosperity unless you abide by certain principles. And so Ghana went back to constitutional democracy in 1992. There was a lot of excitement about it. President Rawlings became the first civilian president of Ghana, followed by President Kufuor. And since then, it's been a revolving door of NDC at one time for 8 years, MPP 2 comes for 8 years. For those who attended my inauguration, if you were not on the Black Star Square and we had locked you in a room and you could hear the announcement of the acknowledgement of the presidents who were coming up to greet me, you would have noticed that the loudest applause was for the countries that have overthrown democracy and are under military dictatorship. That should give us a pause for thought. That should make us think. And that should make us ask ourselves questions about why democracies die. And that's why the topic of today is relevant. What are the things we need to do to sustain democracy? Democracy will not survive by itself if we don't work for it. And like Omar Toure said, whatever system of government you have, autocracy, democracy, theocracy, whatever, if it does not deliver opportunities and prosperity to the people, it will not survive. It was clear that the excitement had completely disappeared. Because all the Afrobarometer surveys and all the other surveys they did, and in many of these surveys they added the question, do you prefer democratic government or would you support a coup d'etat? And it was frightening to notice that a lot of our young people said they would prefer to live under a military government. And so that should give us pause for thought. And that is why I said that we need a reset of our democracy. We need a reset of our economy. We need a reset of our governance. We need to make our governance accountable. And that's why I say anybody who wants to serve in public office must be prepared to account to the people. The people are tired of the corruption. They are tired of misgovernance. They are tired of the lack of opportunity. And that is why for those of us who believe in democracy, we must continue to take the advantage of dialogues like this to see what is wrong with our implementation of democracy so that we can make a reset that makes the youth continue to have faith in democratic governance and not romanticize unconstitutional government.
That was His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic, live on TVSYZ and also on Power 97.9 FM. The Chief of Staff of the Republic of Ghana, Julius Deborah, and also deliver a speech on the theme Why Democracy Die during the launch of the Democracy Dialogue. The Chief of Staff of the Republic, Unimanyam for Julius Deborah. Dache hine ono so ede etu edwa na wo ensem na se na che se keke se wo de sa ensem no etu edwa ye boy homodin se ebetumi anya sa video no ede ama on the show na ensem a Chief of Staff ede tu dwa na che se ade se emudo yi papa pa wo obi a wo se ne ho brase ni bibia no eda form boko kire se amanyosem no enye ntokwasem se de ebeti ho asese nyina ye enuafo ye beto nsa bibini entiase a yebede dialogue na yenyire hu se o my Ghana ba ko na yede na yesom no na emum yenyisi ye bibia edi basabasa ebetumi aba nsema odi tu dwa no na chese ebi eno no ene da etoso miensa ewo Asante Hima .ye ewo Asante Mantemu ya chese Asante Hima wanya ne be kro no omo ebe abepe ne kura na chese o hwa Asante Hina otisu tumfu se to otekokoso na chese ni nua ba prekope enye nchen ene ya Asante Hima sabiri die wato nananum ewo nsedo na yi hu nsem no okopie mu ewo Asante Mantemu kurobia eya nkrokese kumasia ene ne patemu nyina no na chese enya asem ketua ama omampanyi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama okire Yakopon eya adoma woni abemu mpanifo ebetumi akopie mu ewo Asante Mantemu na omu etumi akwachi Asante Menra otumfo si otu otekokoso ewo na yiketeso sabredie ayade se Asante Man dia morning the death of the Queen Mother ya ono so no ewo ye Asante Mema wanya ne baby ko na che amamre kwa na ekoso ewo ye Mensah ahemfie ya je se enye asemketu akwa ye ba ye amamre mu dia traditional woni we say Asante Man enya ade se omu edidi agorokora say tradition must go na che se enua na omu kurama ene okochia ye Asante Man a wo se ubu na che se wakwaje nchia no kama kotoko wura no okuma apem beba ohien papa ohien wonyenyi yimu ohien a oye odo nipa pempuntu adesua won sem eda na koma so oye obi a chese ade ye papa bia no wode na koma di akiri a chese Asante Man wura one de sika adwakofi so en wote onye obi a oyi nipa atoa se ne ye ka no na eja Asante Man ayede Asante Man ayede na otimi se amanfo free amanone amama hodo su bebre na etimi abepi ma ehwe se de be ya Asante Man eja ebeja Asante Hema ne kwan kura na chese de ekoso ewo Asante Memo enonom yeko yechie na afi eye onimonyamfo Julius Debra me de me friend Dache Hene edia angels no edia amano no hu nye hu Dache Hene enono chesa sabri amekase dwumadi ekoso ene ewo eye enkraha no e wode ne nsam so etudwa ya ugina eye dwumadi so say why democracy die na chese launch of the democracy dialogue ekoso no ono so ekasa wo ase enti nsema onimunyafo Julius Zebra editudwa.
We are profoundly honored to have co-hosted this crucial conversation on the theme why democracies die. Ghana is particularly delighted to host this prestigious event, not just because we proudly play a pivotal role in championing democratic governance on our continent, but also because President Mahama's unwavering commitment to making Accra the undisputed center for meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions in the West African sub-region. This dialogue is a testament to that vision. Moreover, these gatherings significantly enhance the already strong and fraternal relationship between Ghana and our brothers and sisters in Nigeria, fostering a deeper bond rooted in shared values and aspirations. Ladies and gentlemen, over the course of today, we have engaged in profound and at times unsettling discussions on the fragile nature of democracy. The theme why democracies die is not a theoretical exercise. It is a stark mirror reflecting the real and present dangers facing our continent's democratic progress. Democracies really die with a certain violent bang. They die by 1,000 cuts through subtle, incremental actions that erode the very foundations upon which they stand. We have seen, tragically, across our continent, how promising democratic journeys can be derailed when constitutional provisions are brazenly manipulated or amended solely for self-perpetuation, disregarding the will of the people and the spirit of the law. This is a poison that saps faith in democratic transition. The independence of vital state institutions, such as the judiciary, electoral commissions, and anti-corruption bodies, is undermined or politicized, turning them into instruments of power rather than guardians of justice. The voice of dissent is stifled, civil society repressed, and the free and independent media is intimidated or weaponized with misinformation and propaganda, denying citizens the information needed to make informed choices. Electoral processes lose their integrity, becoming a sham where results are predetermined and the sanctity of the ballot box is violated. Corruption becomes endemic and unchecked, eroding public trust, diverting resources meant for national development into private pockets, thus weakening the state's capacity to serve its citizens. And perhaps most insidiously, when political actors refuse to accept election results or incite violence and polarization, turning healthy competition into a dangerous confrontation. We have witnessed these scenarios unfold from countries where leaders sought unconstitutional third term to nations grappling with aftermath of contested elections and even military interventions. These are constant reminders of how precarious our democratic gains can be eroded. Yet, amidst these challenges, Ghana stands as an enduring example of democratic resilience and progress. Our journey has not been without its bumps and trials, but our unwavering commitment to constitutionalism, the peaceful transfer of power, and the rule of law has always seen us through. We are proud of our vibrant civil society, our fiercely independent media, and our consistent effort to resolve political disputes through dialogue and judicial processes. This, we believe, is how a democracy not only survives but thrives. Therefore, as we conclude this enriching dialogue, let me offer a few recommendations that have emerged strongly today. We must continuously strengthen the autonomy and capacity of electoral bodies, judiciaries, and anti-corruption agencies, shielding them from political interferences. Leaders must commit to respecting them. A vibrant, responsible, and fearless media is indispensable for holding power to account and fostering healthy public discourse. As political actors, we must prioritize national interests over partisan gains, a point President Mahama never stops making, to foster an environment where differences are resolved through peaceful dialogue. Ladies and gentlemen, the call to action for this democracy dialogue 2025 is clear. We must be eternally vigilant. We must collectively guard our democracies against the subtle machination that seeks to undermine them. Our collective future, the future of our generation to come, depends on it. On behalf of His Excellency President Mahama, I once again thank President Goodluck Jonathan, President Olusegun Obasanjo, Bishop Kuka, and all other distinguished guests, speakers, and panelists for your invaluable contributions. You have sparked vital conversation and laid the pathway for action. May we all carry the lessons learned today and apply them in our respective sphere, ensuring that democracy in Africa does not merely survive, but truly flourishes.
Papa, I know the bro the papa. Kantinga. That's how to bro say. Shani delivery. Excellent. One rush will take any time, point by point, sentence by sentence. Was Samrazi Bibia, kama, Casaneda from Boko, and Gidi, as I could find with you. Who shall prepare you crowd to me some penny, dear Befatano? Madame, I saw about for no Casach you. Miss me fraud that in it. Should be a papano, we see conducting home. On rush on pressure. Never say I ain't China yet. Send some for Tauka near the show about who. No papa, with the weir will be a CI at Jonathan good like a tour, Jomama tour, no Cassinian, sa. Brofo, and yet to came, to went, won't he be one. Sentencing the Dana come, said your mamma, the end pepe. Hey! And this is more mamma Mratio. Mratie, and mamma, and I'm a fool say, not your mamma, which I want, papa way. Miss Way, that's in it. And then, 17th September 2025. Mese kan think papa wey we dache hene Ghana for mo komu kutu dwena mo bompaya mo mpaya ma papa wey na me so ye de yi we dache hene eje sina kasa wi o mo awie me fa esi he na se boss akasa wi dia asamasa ana me za go kan de review no so your free Jubilee House a ho ade na yesa kwa akobọ etie kufu adon se mi na memmo ba o mi ase mu na wata friend tofi an ko gine kuma se kan nyina hu nyansa bi ani memmo fa nya hwe ti ene eye Wednesday the na chese ekwa du ya e maame na so ye ne eye oheneba atwetwe nkomo Dr. Oheneba atwetwe nkomo power specialist Herbal Hospital na fi wia ya san ya bani ababesi nkonya ne ono aboti moti ataboade a winterim former member of parliament for Busa North Sandema in the Upper East region of the Republic of Ghana at long last an appointment na yeden abba ya chese ultimate appointment so ni mudo ya okoye deputy CEO ewo forestry commission na chese ensema ewo ho eno no yenua ba Nat'l olenu ya fe papa eswaji hade wadofo we nyina na hakwa se na woni tamfo bia wa hawo wadofo nyina dwuma mu ha free security kwesito oti wura ha okọ ya kura wura ha sela oba obi ama fans wa yesestala no oje fans ne sa na eyewo na ye friend se Madam Agnes Ajele Ankama ya dodo na afa no eye age 3 ye wo Pink House ewo la girls school we say just mami.
That are all for now on PENDREAM TV. Mugabe massive petition to remove Gen Mensah and Bossman Asari is set to spark heated debate across the nation. What are your thoughts on this bold move? Drop your comments below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more breaking political updates. Until next time, stay tuned, stay informed.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase na so far so good say open online portal e wo Ghana nipa share nipa follow nipa comment here to my best of knowledge without any biases PENDREAM TV